welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our brand new die pop-up desk. This die is so cool because as you fold it and put it on the inside of your card, it creates this cool 3D pop-up interactive element. It's really awesome. So these are all of the dies included in the set. We have the cool desk, we have drawers for the desk, and little knobs for the drawers. We've got this awesome laptop, and it's got a really cool thing with virtual friends, and then the backer piece to put behind the laptop, and that cute little heart. Here's what it looks like when you layer those little drawer fronts onto the desk. They're so much fun. You can either do them with or without the knobs, so in that case, that's without the knobs. And here is what it looks like with those little knobs layered on. And that's a really fun way to use some bright and fun colors on your desk is with those knobs. The laptop has a score line right in the center, so you can fold right on that to create this really cool laptop that can open and close. I like to take some liquid glue with my glue tube and just put it all along the back of the laptop, and then you can layer those little curved rectangles right behind, and that's going to fill in your screen and your laptop keys and mouse. I just love how cute this tiny little laptop is. I love putting the die-cut heart from the laptop into the screen, but the other very best part about this die is that it perfectly lines up with virtual friends. So the size of the laptop screen is the same size as the computer screen, and I'm going to layer the die over top so you can see. That means that you can use all of the elements from virtual friends in this laptop screen. So we've got the 4x4 grids, both the empty ones and the ones filled with cute little critters. We also have our larger critters, and those cute sayings from the set as well are all going to fit. And you can also use many of your favorite lawnfawn sets inside that cute little screen, including the brand new Tiny Friends. So let's go ahead and make a card with this pop-up desk. The first thing we're going to do is work with the pop-up desk. So here you can see it's got some score lines across the parts. There's 3 different score lines. And right here I've die cut it out of some woodgrain cardstock. And this woodgrain cardstock is perfect for the desk because it makes it look like a wooden desk. So I'm going to fold along those 3 score lines and then reinforce it with my bone folder, just like that. Once we have all of those pieces folded, I'm going to start working on adding the drawers. And another cool thing about this die is that it's got little embossed lines that help guide you as to where to put the drawers. So you don't have to kind of measure or even eyeball it. You can just lay it right onto those embossed lines. And so I'm going to do that with some white cardstock here. And then I went ahead and cut some drawer knobs out of the same exact wood grain cardstock. So I'm just going to layer those on with some liquid glue on each of the drawers. When I'm attaching the pop-up desk into cards, I really like to use some strong tape. So I'm going to use some 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and we're going to layer that onto the legs. And so you're going to see right there, it's going to be bright white. We're going to put it right along those parts that we scored. So we've got the back legs and the back part of the desk, and then kind of the front part underneath the drawers there that we're going to have some tape. Now before I attach my desk into the card, I need to decorate. So I'm going to take some of the Perfectly Plaid Remix. This is the Nancy paper, and we're going to layer that into the inside of the card, and that's going to be my wallpaper for my scene. Now I thought it would be cute for there to be a little rug, so I die cut a stitched circle out of some of the Nadia paper in Perfectly Plaid Remix, and I'm just trimming off, just kind of eyeballed it, just a little bit of that circle so that it looks like there's a rug kind of coming out from underneath the desk, and I think that's such a cute look. So I added some tape runner to the back of that, and I'm going to layer that down into my scene. Now I can finally add my desk. So I'm going to peel up the liner paper on the back part of the desk, and I'm just going to line that up right with the crease of the card so that those legs are going to attach to the card base right down into that crease. Once I have that in place, I can press firmly, and that's going to be perfect right there. Now I'm going to fold my desk up and remove the liner paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold your desk just like this, and then you can fold up the bottom of your card, and that's going to pick up the tape on the front of the desk perfectly. So you don't have to try to measure or mess around with it. Just push it up, fold your card in, and it's perfect. And how cute is that? Now here is some of the brand new holographic 2.0 cardstock, and I'm going to die cut my laptop out of that cardstock, and I think that looks so fun. I also went ahead and die cut a backer piece out of some narwhal cardstock, and I'm going to lay that on the back to fill in the keys and the mouse on my holographic laptop. I had die cut a white piece for the screen, but I realized it would be easier to do my stamping first. So we're going to do that first. And we're going to stamp the 4x4 grid from Virtual Friends in some jet black ink. Now I'm going to take out the template that's included in the reveal wheel templates, and we use this in the Tiny Friends video and Virtual Friends videos, so make sure to check those out. And what I love about this template is that it's a mask for that 4x4 grid. So we're going to line it up with those black lines where you can see the black lines inside of our open rectangle, and then I'm going to stamp some of my cute characters from Tiny Friends. So once again, I'm lining up that mask. I can see some of the black line, and I can go ahead and stamp my next little guy. And that little guy reminds me of what I think my son's gonna end up looking like, 'cause I think he's so cute. I'll stamp this little girl here, and then I always love stamping one of the furry friends in this set. We have a cat and a dog when I do these little 4x4 zoom grids, because I just think it's so cute and sweet. So there you can see how perfectly they fit into that grid, and the mask makes it super, super easy to stamp them quickly. I'm going to add some color quickly here with my Copic markers. I've colored the backgrounds to coordinate with my really cool pattern paper rugs. I think that's kind of fun. And there you can see how cute that's going to look in the laptop. So we're going to take that backer piece die and just line that right up with our grid. We can hold it in place with low tack tape, run it through our die cut machine, and look at that. It's perfectly cut out. And all we need to do is add some liquid glue to the back of the laptop and layer our screen in. So I think this is so much fun that we created our own custom 4x4 Virtual Friends grid with Tiny Friends. And I mean, oh my goodness, look at that. It's so cute and tiny. I just love it. So I'm just going to add some tape runner to the back of the entire laptop, and then we're going to lay that right onto the desk, just like that. Now to decorate the scene, we're going to be taking out Den Sweet Den, and Den Sweet Den is a perfect companion to the pop-up desk. I just love it. So we're going to add the cute little lamp and the stack of books as well from that. And then we're going to take out Simply Celebrate Summer, and this set has this really cool little line of succulents. And so I went ahead and stamped and colored those, and I'm just going to trim out 2 of the succulents for my scene. And I'll layer one of them on top of the books, which I think is going to look really, really sweet, and then another one on the other side, just to add a little extra color and just some kind of just nice greenery right to our cute little desk. My last finishing touch here is going to be adding my mug onto the desk, and I think that's just so sweet. Now, to decorate the back, I thought it would be fun to have a little picture frame. And the Den Sweet Den has a picture frame, but it says Den Sweet Den in it. And I wanted it to just be a plain picture frame. So I'm taking a piece of Post-it note here, just the Post-it note tape that has the full stick on it. And I just trimmed it to be a little square that's the exact size of those Den Sweet Den words. And that's going to mask that area off. I'm just going to peel it off and using my tweezers just so my fingers don't get super inky. And then I can go ahead and stamp my picture frame without the Den Sweet Den in it. So this is just perfect. Then I went ahead and die cut a heart, the little cute little heart that's included in the pop-up desk die set, and I'm going to layer that into the frame, and then I'll just color in the frame with some turquoise markers to help match my lamp, and then we can die cut that and add that into the scene. And I feel like that's just, oh, it just looks so cute. Oh my gosh, it just like kind of finished the whole thing off. Now, last but not least, we need to stamp a sentiment, and this is from the Long Distance Hug stamp set, and we're going to stamp it in some mermaid ink, and it says, "Sending long distance hugs," which I think is really sweet. And for the outside of this card, I want to keep it super, super simple because the wow is the inside of my card. So I'm going to take my Nancy paper again because I want it to all coordinate. We're going to layer that onto the front of the card. Then I'm going to take out the brand new Magic Messages set, and I love this set for cute, quick, and easy cards. I went ahead and stamped the "Thank you so much," and I die cut it with the stitch circle that's included in the coordinating dies for Magic Messages. I also trimmed out an 1.25 inch wide piece of the same Nadia cardstock that we cut the rug from, and we're going to layer that onto the card and then just pop up that "Thank you so much." Quick and easy and absolutely adorable. I just love it. And of course, our big wow is going to be on the inside of this card. So here we've got kind of a plain card front, and then bam, look at the inside. Oh my gosh, can you imagine when the recipient opens this? I just love it. I love the "Thank you so much," and then the sending long distance hugs in there, especially because we're all sending cards right now. We're not getting to see everybody in person. So I think this just works out so cute. I love that the pop-up desk also fits our cute little tiny friends and our virtual friends in there. And it was really fun to mix and match a lot of my favorite stamp sets together to create this scene. And now Shari is going to take it away and create another super cute pop-up desk card using some adorable critters.
So for my card today, I'm going to be making a pop-up desk, and I'm going to be combining the pieces with this new pop-up desk die with some stamped images. So this set will cut out the laptop you see there, and then I've also cut some pieces to layer behind the screen and the keys. And then for my desk, I'm actually going to cut it out of some white wood grain cardstock because I thought this would be fun to have that wood grain texture to the desk. And I'm just going to fold along the score lines that this die creates. I'm being very careful to fold it with this wood grain. It's a little bit stiffer, but if you're just careful and you go slowly, you can fold along that score line pretty easily. So I'm folding the back, that was the back, and then this is going to be the front where you see the drawer pieces are. And then I'll also fold down the bottoms of the drawer piece and the leg that's on the front. So these are going to attach to the card base and hold this pop-up desk in place. So before I put this on my card, I want to do a little bit of the decoration to the desk. And the little drawers that the die cuts out, I cut them out of 3 different colors of cardstock. I've got Ballet Slippers, Guava, and Raspberry. I just thought it would be fun to have an ombre effect with these drawers. This seems like it would be a cute little craft desk to work at. White with these pink drawers. So I'm putting the raspberry one at the bottom, and I've just added a little bit of liquid glue. The die will create a little guideline, as you can see at the die that's on the left there, and it'll show you exactly where to put these drawers. So the middle one is Guava and the top one is Ballet Slippers, and then I'm just putting a little dot of glue in the middle of each of those. You could leave this open like a white handle, but I actually cut out the little circles that are the handles for the drawers from some gold glitter cardstock because I thought that would be fun, like shiny gold knobs on the front of these drawers. Now for the little laptop, I've cut that out of some peacock cardstock because who doesn't love a teal colored laptop? And I'm just carefully folding it along the score line so that it folds like a laptop should. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure that's nice and creased. And then I can add the 2 pieces that I cut out to layer behind. So I've got some Stormcloud cardstock that I'm going to layer behind the bottom so that it fills in all the little keys. I think this would be fun if you've got some time to cut it out of a bunch of colors and then pop the little keys in different colors. I think that would be so much fun, like those rainbow key covers that you can buy for your laptop. And then for the screen, I'm just using a piece of mermaid cardstock. I also think this would be kind of cool cut out of the holographic cardstock, but in my case, I wanted to stamp a sentiment in the screen, so that is why I'm sticking to just a plain colored cardstock for the screen. So for my sentiment, I'm actually going to use the Love Poems stamp set. All these little messages that fit in the typewriter paper also fit really well in this laptop screen. So I'm just using the simple message that says happy birthday to you, because I never seem to have enough birthday cards in my stash. I'm going to use the new Perfectly Plaid Remix paper to pick out a plaid to be basically the wallpaper of the wall behind my desk. So I'm going to use this blue and pink paper, and I've already cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have a mermaid cardstock card base here, and I'm just going to adhere this paper to the top of the inside of the card. So this is going to be the wall that my desk is going to go on. So I've just added some adhesive to the back, and I'm going to line it up against that inside fold. And just line it up with the edges of the card. I'm making sure it's on the top of the fold so that this will close nicely. Also, to add to my little scene where my desk goes, I've cut out this scallop circle, and I've cut this out of some rainforest cardstock, and I'm just going to cut it right in half, and this is going to act as like a little rug against the wall for my little desk to sit on. So I'm just lining up the corners of those scallops with my wire on my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to cut it directly in half. And I can actually make 2 cards if I keep this one. And this is just going to go centered up along that fold, but on the bottom part of the card. So I'm just adding some liquid glue, and that's so I can kind of shift it around if I need to. And again, I'm going to constantly sort of close the card to make sure that I don't have too much cardstock in the actual fold so that the card folds together nicely. Now I'm adding some adhesive to the back of my desk and also to those little feet that I folded under earlier on that front leg and at the bottom of the drawers. So on the back of the desk, I'm going to adhere this centered up on this back panel where the plaid wallpaper is. And then to again make sure that my card closes nicely, I'm going to make sure this is nice and stuck down. I'm going to use my bone folder to put a little bit of pressure. I'm going to fold my desk down like it would be when the cards close, and then I'm going to fold it close and pick up the adhesive on the bottom of that table leg and the bottom of the drawers. So now my desk is perfectly placed inside my card. So now to add my little laptop here, it's going to fold and go right in the fold at the top of the desk. So the bottom of the laptop goes on the top of the desk, and then the screen will go directly against the back of the card where the wall is. So now I've got all those pieces put together from the die cuts, and now I'm going to use some stamped images. I'm going to use the little lamp and the mouse. I'm going to use from Den Sweet Den the bear, and then I'm also going to use these little letters from Special Delivery to put on top of the desk. So there's lots of options of ways to decorate your desk with stamped images. So all these images, the things that look like they're sitting on top of the desk, I am just going to glue directly to the back of the card. So I've got this little lamp. And then I've also got a little cup of coffee. That's from the Den Sweet Den set. And then the little letters from Special Delivery, I'm going to glue directly on top of the desk, like someone left their mail sitting beside their laptop. So now for my little characters. So I've got the bear and he's asleep, and then I thought it'd be cute for the little mouse to be sitting on top to be looking at the laptop so he can get a little higher. But I didn't like all the white that the die leaves around his tail. Normally I would be fine with this, but since they're stacked together, that white was just very distracting. So what I've done is I've stamped the tail of the mouse, and then I'm just going to trim off the tail from the die cut piece. And then when I layer him on top of the bear, you'll see his tail, but you won't get all that white around him. So it'll almost look like this is one image with the bear and the mouse together die cut out. So now that I've got that mouse and that bear, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I just put a dot on the top of the desk and a dot on the leg of the desk, and that's where these two are going to sit. And I just think that's so cute, that little mouse sitting on top of the sleeping bear trying to look at the laptop on top of the desk. And now you can see it's going to close perfectly, but I also need to decorate the front of my card. And for this one, I wanted to keep it very simple because the exciting part of the card is what's inside. So I decided to use a little bear from Snow Much Fun, and I'm going to use the same perfectly plaid paper. This one is the one that's on the diagonal. I've got a scallop stitch circle here. I'm just going to cut that, and I'm going to be using long distance hugs for the sentiment on the front. So I'm just going to white emboss the scripty hugs on this piece of rainforest cardstock, and then I'm going to emboss the word sending on this little banner that's cut from peacock cardstock. So I've just added my anti-static powder. I'm stamping the sentiment down in clear embossing ink, and then I'm adding some white embossing powder. I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the hugs part of the sentiment, and then I'll just melt them with my embossing gun together at the same time. So now that I have that powder added to both of the words in my sentiment, I'll just heat that up till it's melted and you get that nice bright white sentiment on that dark cardstock. And I'm going to use the coordinating die for that hugs to cut it out so that that's a nice die cut sentiment. And then I'm going to put this scallop circle in the bottom right corner of the front of my card. And you can see I'm kind of laying out where I want the sentiment to be, and the little bear is going to pop up from behind this circle. So I'm just going to shift it down. I wasn't quite sure how big of a circle I needed to fit the things that I wanted in there. So now that I've kind of got an idea of where I want it, I'm just going to add it to the front. And I'm actually using the little insides of the scallops where it goes in as my guide to line it up. I'm going to go ahead and add my little bear before my glue dries behind my circle. And then I can just take my scissors and trim off where that circle comes off the side of the card. So now you have this fun little circle off the side of the card and a perfect place to put this little sentiment down here in the bottom. So I'm just going to glue down that hugs, and then I'm going to put the sending that's on the banner kind of tucked in right above it, and then I'll just trim off the part that hangs off the side again. So I wanted to kind of fill the space a little bit, but everything I tried I didn't like, so I kept it really simple, and then you get this surprise inside of the desk, which I just think is so much fun.
Thank you so much for this adorable card, Shari. It is so sweet. I love the front of the card, and the beautiful surprise on the inside is so awesome. Now, next up, we want to show you some adorable cards by the design team. First, we have this card by Grace, and look at the front. I mean, the front is so cute. And then when you open it on the inside, you get the big surprise. And here you can see this adorable cat-themed card. You can see that Grace shows that you can combine this with Meow You Doing and Say What Pets in the cutest way. So I love that this pop-up desk is going to work with lots of older stamp sets as well. And then here, this card by Elena. I mean, look how sweet with the cute little mice. I love that she used our bubble mouse sitting on top of the computer. And then when you open it up on the inside, she's got that cute little mouse inside the laptop, and look how she shaded that desk with markers. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this card by Lynette. Oh my gosh, look at the little rug she made and the cute scene with all the critters. I absolutely adore it. She even added a fun baseboard. So I cannot wait to see what you guys create with pop-up desks, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!